friends.
Hello and welcome to episode 26 of NCP. We got a good one here tonight. We got Mr. Late Night Hamilton and we got Mr. Big Trade Colin.
Woo, woo.
Colin, how are you feeling about your well, we had a whole run of show about when we'd talk about the trade, and I'm blowing it up. Colin, how are you feeling after your trade with Reed?
It probably doesn't matter, but we did some number crunching. There's technically a path. So we went out, we made a trade that I think could be beneficial to both teams. The trade is I'm trading Daisy and a Dry Bones over to the Reed Hot Chili Peppers, and I'm getting back my boy Did the Kid and a Monty Mole. Made the trade. I have the characters required to run the did lineup. I think I might be able to squeak a win out with them. And then I also wanted another shooting character on the roster, so I wanted that Monty as well. So I think I upgraded at two positions because the dry bones haven't been doing anything for me. Um, and I think Reed upgrades because he gets a dry bones. He can pair for his team, and then he's not losing anything on the secondary captain because he hasn't won a single game with Diddy all season. So
Yeah, I was honestly not that it's bad for Reed necessarily because he already has a Monty, but I was pretty shocked that you had got a Monty packaged in that.
well,
I
he
think
offered me a Koopa at first until I pointed out that he doesn't in fact own a Koopa.
That's a tough, tough look.
my gut reaction was I have been a proponent of this trade for a long time for both teams actually. And so it is. I'll say it was bittersweet because I think that this is a good trade, but I think that it is honestly possibly too late for both teams. Hamilton, did you talk to Reed at all during this process?
I did not talk to him about it during. I did text with him afterward. And I told him I think what you concluded as well is that I feel like he got a little bit fleeced by giving up the Monty. Um, but I think that the trade overall is a win for both sides. Um, I do just wonder if he could have gotten rid of a Toad or a Shy Guy. I didn't realize he does still have a Monty, which is good.
Yeah, he had two.
I'd I'd also love to hear because I only have anecdotal evidence of this, but like I feel like Drybone's contributions are down this season. Um, I would love the
Um,
stat guy to give me a stat if that is correct or
Dry
not.
Bones across both leagues is rocking .6 goals per game, second most to Monty, 55 win percentage, which is the second highest. Striker index of .4, which is tied for the highest impact, second highest plus minus. Danny has two of them. They're doing a lot of heavy lifting there. I think if you take out Danny's dry bones, the stats look a lot worse.
I'll say I
But
think
if
the
you
Fair.
take out
winning
my dry
stats
bones,
look
they
worse,
look
but
a
I
lot
don't
better.
think like their scoring stats look worse.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, they're probably
What were they averaging like season two? Was it was it .6 or was it like
look up season two. Hold on.
I feel like
Uh,
pretty much every season Drybones has been at a
uh,
constant like
point
point 0.6 to point
point
0.8.
eight point eight two last season, and then this season we have uh point 0.6 in the SPL and point 0.6 in the MLS.
and I know that it's not quite the same, but what was it in season one? Because I want to say it was like over one there.
I don't have
Not true. It
Okay.
was 0.74. So,
Okay. Okay.
I'd say it is fair to say it's a slight downtick. But I would not say that it's substantial. Um,
He's not a bad sidekick for sure. I just like is he declining? Is he
Also,
getting
like
too old for the league?
if you those stats also if you take SPL Monties out, then the Monty stats are significantly worse. I would just guess that if you're looking at purely MLS stats, that Dry Bones
MLS
is
Monty's a .8 or 0.5 goals per game.
yeah. Um,
But MLS Birdos are rocking .6 as well.
regardless,
And so are
I think you're probably right, Ham, that letting go of that Monty is a little bit questionable, but I don't know how great his double Monty teams were doing.
Yeah.
I am officially like, this has nothing to do with the trade. I am the biggest Reed hater um ever. I will never predict him ever again. The atrocity that he has committed the past 2 weeks of double resting Yoshi against his two of his biggest opponents, I will never understand. And we talked about maybe not giving Reed enough credit for how well he's done the previous seasons. It's all luck. The kid doesn't know anything. So sorry, Reed. I know you're not listening, but I am not a fan. But it'll be interesting. I do think that this. I personally think that this is a positive trade for Reed. Hamilton, where do you sit on that?
I definitely think it's a positive trade for Reed. He wasn't getting anything out of Daisy or out of Diddy, and he gets rid of. If he wants to triple rest Yoshi, he has the ability to run Daisy this week.
The
He-
crazy thing is Yoshi's having a insane season.
yeah.
1.7 goals per game, a 90% win percentage, and he's resting him for the Did, who is at 0.3 goals per game and is a 0% win percentage. Like, what is the kid doing?
For
What is he
for
watching?
all of our listeners who might not have gotten a text Saturday evening, I was texting with Reed about his lineup choices before we played. My lineup was submitted. Colin will verify this fact, so it wasn't collusion or anything. But at some point, he did text me and say, I thought Diddy was my better captain because Colin was asking to trade for him. Um,
I should have tried to get
and
Yoshi.
Bro, no, Colin, you could have gotten Yoshi in week 3.
um, but that was tragic to read, and tragic for Reed. Ha ha ha. Play on words. But I would state that we may have given Reed a little bit too much credit in terms of how much he was paying attention. I do think he knows what's going on. I just don't think he was really paying a whole lot of attention to what he was doing. He has talked to me about he's got a plan for making playoffs. I was talking to him before I beat him about how I think he was shooting himself in the foot. But you know, he's made his bed, and we'll see where it lies.
Yeah. Well, let's get into results here, because I do want to start to talk about what that picture looks like. Colin, what you got?
I'm going back to our run of show to talk about roster moves from last week,
I'll let him believe.
which is
Uh-huh.
where we were planning on starting.
Uh-huh.
Hamilton picked up a Monty off waivers,
Sure. I
played him week
cannot.
1, or
I
played him
cannot believe no
in
one
his
else
debut.
wanted that Monty.
Sat there for a minute, didn't he?
As
I don't
soon as
He
I
sat
saw
there
him
for
on
a
waivers,
while.
I picked him up.
I don't
Yeah,
think he
he
was
sat there for a while.
I don't think he was there for a while, but I just think Hamilton was just at like the bottom of the waiver.
Yeah, that's
No, Dave dropped him 2 weeks. So it was a full week. No one picked
okay.
him up last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that Monty,
if
funnily enough, went Dave Ham.
yes,
He's gone back and forth between the two teams.
Well, he's back home now.
Yeah. Um, could I have picked him up last week? Because if Dave dropped him, doesn't he have to sit for a full week?
No. You can pick him up the following week.
Okay.
That's interesting. Okay.
Learn something new every day.
Well, let's get into the results of the weekend. We started off with the Colonials versus Control Alt Defeat, even though I swear I ended up going differently on the schedule. Nope. Wait.
I think you did.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong week.
Yeah, we
We
were
started off with Toad and the Bros versus Terrio's Disciples.
That sounds more right.
No one, neither of them were there in the call. Neither of them have said anything since. Does anyone have any comments on this game at all?
I think Peach played well. I think she got a game. Did she not?
I think she got the middle one. And scored this
A disgusting
disgusting
chip.
chip. The greatest chip goal, I think. Actually, I think there was a chip bike, the Diddy's Laton.
Yeah.
is tough competition, but this is like the first like actual chip. Most of the time, the goalie's just dead, and they chip him. But this was actually sick. Look at him falling over. Yeah, no, I'd say Peach did pretty well. I mean, getting a point, especially with these sidekicks, was pretty respectable. Anyone else have any other thoughts?
I went crazy in the Discord. 7-0
Oh,
was
oh,
a
I have a
scoregami, I
thought.
believe.
That was my thought. Scorigami.
Sorry.
First one of the season.
First one of the season. The big was it a green square on the chart?
Green square on the chart.
We didn't even know what color it was until now.
It's always green for the current season.
So that was big. Also, other talking point is based off averages, not quantity totals, which is pretty much impossible to compete for in season 3. This Wario right here, Dave's Wario, is having the most disgusting season. I think arguably one of the greatest seasons in SPL history. Colin, do you have the major stats for that offhand? What Dave's Wario is putting down?
2.43 goals per game.
Holy shit. Sorry if that gets us demonetized.
We don't make any money.
What about all our ads, man?
2.4 goals per game, 2.1 strikers index, 11.2 impact score, plus minus of 15. Should Dave has been alternating Wario, Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. also averaging 2 goals per game, 0.9 index, 5 impact, even plus minus, whereas Wario has a plus 15. Should they be running Wario out as his main captain instead of doing an alternation?
I think it's good to get the alternating, get the chemistry flowing before playoffs. You know,
But if you're
I
going
think
into playoffs, who are you starting?
I think in playoffs, I think he should start Wario the whole time. But I mean, going into playoffs, I think it's okay to alternate as long as he's getting stamina and making playoffs. Like, if he can make playoffs,
Keep going, him.
if he can make playoffs and have Wario rested, I think that there's no reason to not keep alternating. Get the chemistry fresh.
I pretty strongly disagree because I think that the difference between first and second and third is massive. If you get first place in MLS, you automatically promote versus like if you do that, then you don't even have to worry about fitness or worry about anything. So I think that if Wario is having a better season, plus I think that, outside of that singular game against Hamilton, Bowser Jr. doesn't have that much Mega Strike potential. And I think with Wario, you're rarely out of a game except if he plays for my team. But I disagree. I think that Dave should be putting all his chips in for going for first, especially if then, in the playoffs, if he ends up having to play a series. How close is he to you right now, Hamilton?
Close enough that I'm worried.
2 points.
Close enough that I'm hoping that he doesn't try and come get me.
Which I think that his only path forward would be playing Wario. But I see what you're saying where there's little reason to do so, but I do think that it's probably at the point now where he needs to start maximizing any value possible if he wants to catch you, because I don't know when you're going to drop points, especially when you continue to collude with your brother. God, that was a terrible shot. I'm on week 5 right now. Anyway, that was Toad and the Bros versus Terrio's Disciples. 2 not close games, 1 close game. But big point for Jake puts Colin a full, possibly 3 games back if you consider the goal difference gap. But not looking good. Speaking of Colin not looking good, he took on Control Alt Defeat, Garrett's team, in a battle of the arguably worst power-ups in the game. Look at that. Look at that Thunder Wham right there. But there were moments where this felt like you could go to 3, Colin, like it could be a series. Did you ever have that belief?
We went up 2-0 in game 2. And that was a good start. I thought, there might have been a chance. Then we blew it, and now, 2 of those players aren't on my team anymore. Actually, that Dry Bones is still on my team. I traded the other one, but you know,
What a coach. He knows his dry bones.
Reed asked for a specific dry bones, or did you pick the dry bones?
I offered him the one with more stamina as a way to try to get the Monty that had stamina.
I see.
That seems like a smart move for both. Yeah, but
I did ask him if he was going to start Monty this week because I would have let him keep Monty at that point because I've done the math and my only road to playoffs involves Reed beating Dave this week.
A big ask, especially when he's about to start Daisy.
But yeah, the team's probably done. I need Dave to not get a single other point to make playoffs, so probably not going to happen. We're fighting to try to get a win this season. We move on to next season, but try some things out. Daisy, she played 5 games for the squad, got 1 win so far, better win percentage than PD. So,
speaking
it was
of,
an honor to have Daisy on the roster.
I gotta ask Colin, 2 weeks from now, both PD and the Did are gonna have stamina. If PD loses this upcoming week, are you starting the Did?
I'm playing Jake. Jake's not gonna listen. The issue, I've submitted my roster. The issue is next week I will not have the Did lineup.
I'm talking 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now, Diddy will not, or PD won't have stamina.
Is that a fact? I thought.
how will he not have? Wait.
So I'm saying
confused.
a week now, or what week? We're coming up on week 7. You're talking week 8.
I'm talking week 8.
Week 8, I will not have the Did lineup available, so PD will be going.
Okay.
For week 9.
Week 9,
it's forced.
it'll be the Did lineup running out. I'm just gonna put it out there now. Whoever I'm playing, you know what's coming. They're gonna know what's coming anyway.
So we have
If you can stop it.
your season is
Who does he
most
play
likely
week
almost
9?
completely going to be chalked by the time the Did lineup gets to go on the field.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Did lineup should not be, unless you're Adam, shouldn't
Hey,
be the
Colin.
primary because there's no way it stays winning the same way. I
Hey,
don't
Colin.
believe it.
Guess who you're playing in week 9?
Is it you?
It is.
You might not have Bowser.
I might not.
He's also beaten a Bowser lineup with the Did.
Yeah,
That's a valid point.
El Kid. He beat the champ.
But has he beaten Mario? Mario's undefeated this season. All I'm saying.
The GOAT. But yeah, that was that game. Huge result for Garrett. And I feel like DK has started to look like his former self, especially on Garrett's team. He's rocking 1.8 goals per game and a 0.7, not a 0.7 win percentage, but a 70% win percentage. So very solid from DK. And a huge win. Garrett's really rebounded his season thanks to Reed. But next game we got the brother derby. Speaking of Reed, Hamilton, were you shocked to see the Did walking out against you this week?
Shocked when I received the text message that told me that Did was walking out against me. I actually had the first text I sent to him was that he was something for resting Yoshi last week so that way he could start him against me this week. I thought he was just trying to take like points away from me and get a win this week, which I thought was like a crazy play because I was doing the math previously of like he was going to have to start the Did against me this week, but he rested him last week. And then he told me that he was starting the Did again, and I was like, what?
I like that he's basing his analysis of the league based off what trade offers he's getting.
yeah.
Offer from the worst team in the league.
Oh my God, Reed! Imagine if you had known that, Colin, and you could have snuck Yoshi off.
I mean, it's still too late. But if I could have snuck Yoshi off him 3 weeks ago, we could have had a fight.
Next season, when Reed and I are both in MLS, I'm going to be sending him the most egregious trade offers.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't want to. He's nervous to make trades because he doesn't want to get, taken advantage of.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't know who his players are.
Wait.
You just watched Monty absolutely rocket Mario into the goal or into Critter.
Yeah.
Watch this live. Leaves the ball behind.
Colin, how many do you know how many games of SPL we've watched?
Yes, I do. 281.
Well, this is a 1 in 281. That's incredible. Look at the you guys can't see because I accidentally went into full screen. Look at the save that Critter makes on Mario. Stops him. I remember someone saying something like that on stream, but I did not see him. That is freaking hilarious. That's also his own. That's your own Monty. Why is Mario facing the wrong direction?
Yeah.
Wait. If you're on audio, please switch to video. Mario's calling for the ball. He's got his hand up. He's asking for the ball.
He gets it. He gets the ball right there.
What if it had switched the ball to Mario's possession and then he went into the goal?
If that interaction had ended in a goal, I think it would have been caught significantly more by the average viewer.
Oh, for sure.
The fact that it didn't.
That would be up there with Donkey's Foot, as in greatest goals and moments of SPL. But Reed has really trolled his season. He is like 2 weeks ago, he was tied for first, I believe, and we were talking about him as like a true title challenger. He has now lost back-to-back weeks against direct competitors where he couldn't have played Yoshi in both, but he had Yoshi available for both, and is now firmly out of the race. Very questionable, but maybe this trade with Colin, which it'll be interesting to see what he does. Colin, do you think that he's going to be trying to run Daisy double dry bones, or is he going to end up splitting the dry bones?
I know for a fact what he's running this week, or most of what he's running this week. So I don't want to say it because he is playing Dave, and I know Dave does listen.
Let me ask you this: do you think that he gets more value out of stacking? Also, this I watched this in the VOD. I'll pause that and not distract myself. Do you think he gets more value of stacking the double dry bones with Daisy on his rest weeks, or do you think he gets more value of still leaving one out there with Yoshi and then just having one bad week with Daisy?
Both of his dry bones have full stamina. He could theoretically run Yoshi double dry bones twice, throw Daisy, throw the Daisy week, and then run Yoshi double dry bones again week 10 and try to take that into playoffs if he has the points. Um, I don't I don't know if he has the points available to be able to throw that to like just be able to give away a week at this point, having given away the last two. So it might be worth running one out there, running a different one out there next week, and then going double dry bones when Daisy's available.
I think both of those are pretty good options, to be honest. That's scary that he could run double dry bones Yoshi that often. We will look at the table in 1 second, and we can talk about kind of implications. But real quick, watch this. The dry bone shoots the ball. I can't tell if he misses or the wind blows it into the wall, but it throws off Critter. He misses it, and then that almost goes in. Arguably, if we had VAR, I would like to see the percentage of the ball that's across the line, because that I think we've seen less ball in get called a goal. But that was it for MLS. This is what the standings finished up at. We have Hamilton's Plumbers and Pyromaniacs at 15 points. Toad and the Bros and Control Alt Defeat tied at 13 points. Those are the three teams that are in promotion contention right now. And then Reed Hot Chili Strikers falling down to 9 points. Terrio's Disciples at 8 points. And the Colonials at 2 points. So Hamilton, you sit a full 2 games safe. You're not locked in there, but a full 2 games safe. So I guess no, you just played Reed. I guess you in theory are not far away from locking up safety.
He actually
contention.
he has the tiebreaker over. Wait, did you beat Reed early?
Yeah.
No,
Reed and I are tied 1-1 series.
So you don't have the head-to-head bonus over Reed. I was gonna say if you did, you might be clinched now, but without that head-to-head, it's probably not quite clinched. Probably would require, I think, a win and a loss by him, and you'd be a secured top 3. Or even if you got a point. How many weeks are left? We got 4.
4.
Yeah. But you are not safe for the auto promotion spot. But you're looking pretty darn safe to, have a good chance at SPL.
Yeah.
A win and a loss, a win and 0 points from Reed would put you at worst into a goal difference battle.
I gotta ask him, how does that feel after absolutely brutal season 2?
I mean, it's always nice to win, is what I'll say. But I mean, at this point in the season, locking up promotion is the only goal. And I don't mean second and third and winning. I mean first place and winning out that way. Also, I'm just noticing Dave and I are tied on goal differential, but we're also tied on goals for and goals against, which is not like the normal way you're tied on goal differential in my mind.
No.
I didn't even realize you guys, and you've played the same amount of games. That means you guys are just on top of each other on this graph that I post every week.
Whoa. So Garrett, Dave lost to Garrett.
You're not quite on top of each other. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there.
In Hamilton. Yeah.
Yeah.
No bad losses there. But very, very competitive at the top. Kind of a shame for Dave to have a 10 higher goal difference than Garrett and have the exact same amount of points.
He did win a game 7-0 last week.
True.
So
yeah, that's fair.
That will help.
Yep. That's Squaregami. For those of you who don't know, Colin has created a playoff calculator that you can use to input different results and see basically how the final standings will play out. And he has Doctor Stranged his way into one. Is it like one singular reality, pretty much, Colin, where you can still
There's a couple like game 2s and 3s that can be changed and one game that doesn't. But the outcome of every game outside of one needs to go my way.
Well, I know what I'll be rooting for in the back half of the season. But yeah,
It could be over as soon as game 1.
Hey, it worked. It worked for the Avengers. So, we started off SPL with my Super Ario Brothers versus Dan's spread triple option. I just want to say this was one of the closest game two two game sweeps of all time. I really put the pressure on Danny. And it's getting kind of sad just watching Danny just slurp up points from everyone else. Like, he's still happy, he's still excited, but at some point he has to get bored. Ham, do you think it was a mistake of me not to run Mario out there? Do you think Mario is the better brother in season 3?
I agree. Absolutely. I mean, Mario's undefeated in MLS is all I have to say.
In series, he's undefeated in SPL as well. But genuinely though, it was a really fun series. Game 1, we came back from 3-0 down to still lose 5-4. And then game 2, he scored a literal almost 0-second goal. No, there's still a couple seconds on the clock. But Danny just wins. And it's not fair. I do feel like personally at some point this has to stop. Like, I don't think that Danny is doing something way better than the all of us. Maybe that's just cope. Colin, do you feel like this is going to rubber band back at some point this season, or is he just going to win?
I don't know. Like, he's got a good roster, but just the way that it's gone for everything, I don't understand how it just doesn't lose. Like, how is he 4-0 with Peach? That I don't get. I know he has a strategy of just throw a bunch of shooters out there, and it seems to be working really well. So I don't know. Maybe that's just the meta these days.
I mean, if there is a true meta, then Danny's definitely defining it. I'm looking at these and man, like a lot of these series aren't even close. Like a lot of the games aren't even close. It's just crazy.
That 3-2 to Adam and the 2-1 to Adam, I don't even think like it's close in score, but I don't even think the games themselves were close.
Well, that was Peach versus Diddy. So
Okay.
I think those actually were close. In the same way that this was close. But he still just wins. I think that, Danny has to pay karmically for the Peach results. I think he has a debt to the devil. But we'll see if that ends up being paid. Next series, I believe we had both these managers in the call of Freddie versus Eric. Eric just trying to maintain grips on Danny while he surges ahead, and Freddie, very much needing points. Colin, how do you feel about Freddie taking inspiration from Terrio's disciple in his roster?
I mean, I don't really see how you look at Waluigi Double Birdo and decide that's what you want to copy. But, they've gotten a win before.
These are all true things. They did get one win.
Waluigi Double Birdo, actually, they did win a series.
No, this
That
exactly
series against the Colonials?
No, it wasn't. It was actually against Gary.
It did
What
require
double Birdo combination?
that was the 3 in the gray.
That was the 3 in the gray series.
Which we did have repeated again. Was that this week or last week?
I think it was this week, but it did. But none of the goals went in. Actually, it was 4 in the gray. He didn't overcook it that much. He just missed, so it
Okay.
wasn't quite as bad.
No, it was Bowser, and he went 6 in the gray and got 2.
What? No, there was another one, right? That there was like 4 in the
There was another
gray.
one that was 3 in the gray.
Yeah, maybe there were multiple.
I thought Bowser went 6 in the green. Could be wrong.
Or we'll get to the end of it. But anyway, it's tough when you're taking. Maybe it counted as green. That's not green.
Oh, that is gray.
Maybe the game bugged. Gave him. Oh no, that's just the color of the 6. But you're in a tough spot when you're taking inspiration from Terrier's disciples. It was a pretty clean and confident win for Eric. And I think that Eric actually has a fair amount to be proud of this season. I think he's built a really solid roster with the number 2 pick in the draft, and especially picking up Wario. Do you think, Hamilton, that he will be able to compete for the championship? I think it's obvious that he's going to be competing, for playoffs, but do you think he can actually pose a threat to Danny?
I struggled to see how anyone poses a threat to Danny, if I'm being honest. But I think that Eric stands a good chance. The only concern I have is Danny's going to probably be able to rest Bowser going in, and therefore have his starting lineup for the entire playoffs. Is Eric going to be able to rest and get PD in my mind for both playoffs?
Well, the good news
and
is for Eric is that his sidekicks are really just the same. And I don't think it's that big of a drop off between PD and Wario.
Yeah.
But the fact that Danny's going to get to rest, I think your point still definitely stands that is terrifying and will be very difficult to fight against.
84-9 all time against Bowser.
What's Wario?
2-2.
Okay.
Bowser has a winning record against every captain except for 2.
Which
you think you can guess which 2?
Oreo and Danky Kang.
No.
Mario?
It's not Mario. He's 5-2 against Mario.
But,
Is it the kid?
It's the kid.
It's the kid. 1-2 versus the kid. 2-3 versus Yoshi.
Not containing season 1.
Not containing season 1. Yes.
An important
one
asterisk.
of 3 captains that the DID has a winning record against.
Make it make sense.
The others being Waluigi and Daisy.
I'm so glad that I clicked on the wrong thing and we just got to experience Mario getting it again. But Yoshi played a series against the Flying Dutchman in the final game of the week. What'd you say, him?
Never mind.
This was a massive game for the standings in SPL. Adam has been pretty much the sole holder of 3rd place the entire season. And with a win here, Jacob controlled pretty much like every single tiebreak. And his team took over, which, Adam's team is some buns when the DID lineup isn't out there. Has anyone spoken to Jacob about strikers? I've talked to him about other stuff, but I have not heard a word from this man in regards to SPL this season. Gonna take that as
there it is.
There's the 3 in the gray.
I have not heard a word from the man this season about strikers.
About football.
He did
Not.
He did comment in the Discord today about Reed's trade. I think that's the most interaction we've gotten from him. So maybe towards the end of the season he'll become a little bit more alive, but I think he's in a very, very good position for playoffs now.
Yeah.
But these were the standings that we ended up with. Danny at 18 points as spread triple option. Eric's Goose Crusade at 14 points. Come on, Mr. Monty for Jacob at 9 points, with the tiebreaker over Adam's Flying Dutchman in fourth place. My Super Ario Bros with 6 points, and Fred Chester United at the bottom with 5. I do think it's interesting that there really are no teams outside of that third spot. Unlike in MLS, there's one, maybe two teams that are pretty firmly outside of. So it'll be a very interesting finish to SPL. I think there's a lot to be played for.
Also, I have to make a correction to something I said.
Hmm.
That is not just season 2 and season 3, the Did versus Bowser record. That is all time. Did just dodged Bowser 1 season 1.
Incredible. Thanks, Eric.
Collector.
But from now on, every game really matters. We're at that part of the season. It was a great week for Preds all around.
Oh wow,
Except for
it's a lot of green.
Reed by the sounds of it. But in terms of people
Yeah.
on the podcast, Hamilton and I are pretty much in lockstep. Colin having a bad season on the field, in pole position for the golden picker. Unfortunately, I don't think that Danny will be competitive because I don't think he's predicting every single game for the rest of the season. So you should be safe, Colin.
Well, I got to keep you guys off. 4 games is certainly. We still got 24 games to pick, so 4 games is not
Picking opposite
insurmountable.
Colin.
Yeah, that definitely could melt away if you're not careful. All right. Well, I have not looked at the slate of games this week at all, so I'm excited for that. I feel like you and Jake just played against each other, Colin.
We did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It didn't go well.
Let's see.
Here's the one thing we can guarantee. Jake's probably running Waluigi out there if he submits a roster. And he has to run at least 2 Birdos.
If he doesn't submit a roster,
It
does
would be
Peach stay in?
It would be Peach, double Birdo, and a coin flip to see if it would be a third Birdo or a Shy Guy.
God, I would pay money to see Peach triple Birdo.
I really don't want to see that against my team because I feel like we're gonna lose.
That's Colin's nightmare. So, which Jake hasn't missed the lineup all season, right?
No, he has not.
So
good intel.
Yeah.
He's no Flying Dutch Bros.
No, he's not.
That's rich from you.
Yeah. Hey.
How many times have I picked Colin this season?
I want Colin to pick first on this one.
How many times?
You picked me week 1 over Hamilton.
Hell yeah.
We didn't do week 3. You didn't pick me we didn't do week 2. You didn't pick me week 3. You picked me week 4, week 5, and then you didn't pick me last week.
Okay, so I can't even blame you for my bad Preds. That's on me. All logic points to Colin here. I'm going Colin, but there will be at least 2 Birdos out there, so it's gonna go in 3. Hamilton, what's your pick?
I can't keep giving it to him. Give me Jake in 3.
Colin?
I really want to pick me. But what about my team has proven they can win other than all of the players on other teams?
which is convincing. They are looking great on other teams.
Let's say we break the streak. I gotta keep the hope alive for one game.
How many? Are you doing it in 2?
3. There's no way I can predict me winning in 2. Just
If
it's
you
not
win in
possible.
3, do you give up too many points? Is my question.
No, I can actually survive that. I'm pretty sure.
For the next game, we have Reed versus Dave. I'm picking Dave, and in honor of Reed, I will not be submitting a game score. This will be my pick. I will be picking against Reed every week, to infinity. He burned me 2 weeks in a row.
You know, we're going back to the well. Give me Reed in 3.
So, if Reed doesn't win this game in 2, I'm eliminated from the playoffs.
He's got to believe.
Okay. Time out. Colin, I'm gonna ask this question. Do you want to pick like you're making playoffs, or do you want to pick like you're a golden picker?
I'm
That
picking to get the golden picker because that's the only thing that I can realistically achieve
okay?
this season. Dave's probably running Bowser Jr. out there. He could run Wario, but he's probably going to continue the flip-flop he's had going. Reed can run Yoshi. He's got the dry bones. You know what? I'm going to take Reed, but in 3. He's going to get the win, but he's going to end my hopes.
You'll lose game 1 though, just that way it's done early.
You idiots. He's running Daisy.
The trade value on Daisy is insane, to be fair.
Well, I guess actually by his logic, Daisy's probably not valuable because Colin's willing to trade them. All right. Last game for MLS is a
Thought
top
about
of the
change his pick.
table banger.
Is
Garrett.
this really the 3rd week in a row I'm playing top table?
that means at some point in your season it's
technically Dave's top table, I think, right?
Yeah.
Another tied.
Yeah.
They're tied
They're
on points,
tied.
but Dave has goal differential.
By a good margin.
Yeah, like 10. But still.
That means at some point you're playing Jake and Colin pretty much in succession. Garrett has everything available
He ends
but
the season with Dave.
Toad. Yeah. That game could be massive, especially if Garrett steals points here.
But he's got me the week before, so we can rest.
Hamilton has everything available. I'm guessing that Garrett's gonna run DK.
We know Luigi's better against Bowser than DK. That's all I'm gonna say.
I just tried it. It didn't happen.
Crunching the numbers, 5 and 9, 2 and 3. Technically, he's better.
He was 2-1 coming into this week. This is tough. Does anyone have an opinion they feel strong about?
I'm gonna go Ham.
Okay. And how many?
Well, Google's telling me it's got to be 3, so we're going 3.
All hail Google. Ham?
I'm gonna commit cardinal sin here, and I'm gonna regret it if it backfires. But I'm gonna pick myself for 2.
Himself and
He's
2.
going for a picker. It's too late in the season to pick against yourself for the vibes. You gotta be going for the golden picker.
We've run this simulation before, is all I'm gonna tell you. Week 4 it happened. Pretty much same lineups.
That doesn't mean anything. I simmed Danny twice with Donkey Kong versus Bowser within the span of the same day. And 1 and 2 and then lost in 5. Which actually, I guess if the grand finals had been a 3-game series, I would have won. That's tough. That's a good point, Hamilton. I'm gonna go you and 3. Put the pressure on. I don't know what. I feel like the fact that you just said that makes me more confident that Garrett's probably gonna try and run Luigi, and I don't think that's gonna work. But we'll see.
I'm gonna state that you said in 3, and then you typed the number 2.
Yeah, well, I'm sticking with 2.
Yeah.
Danny versus Eric. Does Eric? Okay, he has both Wario and PD.
They both have pretty much everyone.
I'm
When
going.
does Danny not have Bowser against a good captain? Fuck off.
It's because he rests him and Peach still wins.
That's fair.
He's just going 2-1. Actually, he broke that.
Yeah.
I think Lil Bro's gonna win. It's Eric's time.
I'm not delirious, so I'm gonna say Danny, but maybe Eric gets 1, so I'll go in 3.
I mean, they went to 3 earlier in the season. That's the only time someone got a game off Danny.
Okay.
I'm
I thought he
looking
was
at
truly
this.
undefeated still.
We had
I
this
think
conversation
Danny-
last week, Hamilton.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
I'm looking at this. Danny's whatever he's set up, he's running the lineup he wants to run. He's running whatever he thinks is his best lineup out. Because this is in theory the most important game for him. If he wins this, it's all but locked up that he's the number 1 seed. He's probably running Bowser, double dry bones, and a Monty. It could be double Monty and a dry bones. Either way, Bowser's record against PD's undeniable. I'm taking Danny. I'll give Eric a game though.
What is Bowser's record against PD? I know you've said it.
I mean, Danny's never lost a game before, so that'd be pretty impressive for Eric.
Yeah.
I might remember next week.
I'm playing against Grant.
Does he have the did lineup?
He's not in the league.
But is he Lemons or is he Flying Dutchman?
Not this again.
I'm tired of all this talk of the did lineup. I'm sick of it. The kid sucks. I've run the stats on all the maps. Colin has given me all the tools I need where I can look up every individual map instance of the kid and see his results, which is just like, what a freaking absurd thing to be able to pull.
Oh,
I cut out.
You cut out for most of that.
Well, anyway, the people heard me. You may not have,
yeah.
but the people heard me. I was talking about, Colin, I was paying you a compliment. I hope you guys can hear me now. About how absurd it is that I can just look through the database, scrub to find every single instance of when that specific lineup has played in the past 2 seasons, see their map results. It's just an unreal tool to have. I mean, you obviously could just do it manually by watching VODs, but yeah, I'm winning in 2. Ham, I'll try and sway you here. I'm playing Mario.
Incentivizing. Not to.
What's your pick?
Austin in 3.
He's going against the kid.
I mean, you gotta root for Mario.
Austin, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Adam running the did lineup?
Does he have a choice?
He can. It's available. Is he running the did lineup?
I will not be giving Adam any reminders.
Like to change my answer.
He will not be getting any reminders. I already gave him the first win of the season against me by fucking picking his. I literally put his lineup in for him to beat me. He's getting no reminders. He's got to do this on his own.
No reminders. I'm going to Austin. and I'm going in 2.
He and I are
But
gonna spend like 60 hours together this week at work, and he will not hear a peep from me.
I want to make it known. I'm making my pick of Austin officially. I want to make it known that if Adam does run the did lineup, I believe he will win.
So you're picking me though?
But I'm picking you because I don't think he's going to submit the did lineup.
How many games?
2.
I will say Adam knows very well about the did lineup. Adam watches all of his games. He just doesn't submit for him.
It's a hard process, if I'm being honest with you. Colin didn't make it pretty easy or anything.
He has been scheming about when to play the did lineup this whole season. So,
but if you don't, you know what? I'm changing my vote because I feel like Austin's going to crack and he's going to tell Adam to submit a lineup. Give me Adam in 3.
I guarantee that Adam and I will talk about strikers this weekend. But I am not going to frame it. I'm not going to avoid the topic, but I'm not going to frame it as a reminder.
I'm gonna text him. I'm calling Food Lion.
Call the deli.
I would like to call the deli.
Our phone's gonna be blowing up all day on Saturday. That would be hilarious. I don't know if he'll pick up the phone. Oh boy, this is a huge game. If I do win against Adam and Freddie loses here against Jacob, he is in serious trouble.
Yeah, we can calculate this.
Yeah. This is getting very close to do or die. Did Freddie have Bowser Jr. available last week and just not pick him? I feel like he did. I feel like he's very rarely played.
No, he can't. No.
He couldn't.
No, because that would have been they both had 2 stamina last week, which is impossible. Bowser Jr. is definitely resting last week.
Okay. I am going to continue to make my predictions based off narrative, not what I actually think is going to happen. Works out well for me every season. And I'm going to go Freddie just because I am really enjoying the way that the SPL season is playing out. And I want to see even more parity. So I'm going to go Fred in 2. Hamilton, what's your pick?
Knowing that has Jacob been submitting rosters or no?
Yes.
Not
Okay.
every week.
I had to text him once. But right now, I think our only unsubmit. Oh no, he didn't submit. He missed 1 week.
Give me Jacob in 3.
Which, with the team he has, he really doesn't have to submit rosters.
Yeah.
It's kind of all the same. I just realized that Jacob has Bake ZD as well. Both of the DK. No, he doesn't. I know how to spell boo. Koopa.
He has Yoshi. He doesn't have Mr. Monty.
The best sidekick in the league. Worth noting.
The best sidekick in the league history, although not the best sidekick in the league this season, but still putting up a fantastic season.
Not even the best Monty in the league.
Yeah, well, Danny's Monty's going nuts. But he's still having a great season. I want to pick. Who do I even want to pick? because I believe both teams can win if they both submit good lineups. Freddie's team's just they've kind of got the issue with my team right now where it doesn't seem to matter. They just kind of lose. Then it's nothing against Fred. It's nothing against the lineups. I just feel like they're gonna lose just because they just they just lose. You know,
It's really good analysis.
bad. Just maybe the bad vibes, bad culture. I don't know. I'll take Jaco in 3.
Just a quick analysis of our Preds here. Austin stands to gain 3 games on the Golden Picker, and I stand to possibly gain 2 games on the Golden Picker. That
Yeah.
being said, the Golden Picker could also pull up that many
Yeah.
games on us if we're wrong.
We probably
Yeah.
screwed ourselves.
Probably. But
You know,
I would point out
That
that
would require
we
me
alternate
winning a
in different
game.
ways.
It would require me and Adam winning a game.
Well, what I said was like if you are wrong on some of them, if you're wrong, one of us is gaining a game on you for pretty much every single game.
Yes.
the hunt is
Except
on.
for the hunt is on.
There's only one guarantee this week. Oh,
Oh,
That's crazy that's the guarantee. Freaking Garrett versus Hamilton.
yeah, that's. I
feels
hate that. Just to be fair, but
I
I
think
don't know. I feel like this is a good week. We've got a lot of me versus
what do we
Jake
predict
battle
week
of the
4?
bottoms. Reed and Daves could be a decent matchup with Reed having good sidekick and or double dry bones, a good captain. Battle for the top there with Garrett Ham, Eric and Danny's battle for the top. Adam Austin's 3-4 matchup, right? Or maybe
Really
Jaco's in
good week
there.
in terms of
This is a
impact
great week.
full games.
It's gonna be fun.
I think every week is actually pretty soon we're gonna get some stinkers.
We're gonna have some stinker games, like me versus Ham week 9. Like, what is that?
Yeah. But you know what? We're dubbing this rivalry week.
Although I might have the did lineup that week.
This is
Rivalry
rivalry
week.
week.
That it is kind of me
Dude,
versus Jake. We
yeah.
got Adam versus Austin.
Freddie versus Jaco, the Orange
Freddie
County.
Jaco.
Danny versus Eric. Come on.
The only thing I don't know if Garrett Ham is. I think I would if this was full rivalry, I'd switch Reed and Garrett.
We've got Reed versus Dave. I mean, they freaking hate each other, bro. They hate each other. That's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. We are
Maybe
in
next season I'll rig it to do a one rivalry week somewhere in the middle.
well, this is rivalry week. This is it. It's been dubbed. It's gonna be a good one. But we will most likely be streaming on Twitch and or YouTube and doing all the things we normally do. So look forward to seeing everyone on Saturday. Peace.